Welcome to Fenway Park as the Red Sox continue their homestand tonight, the first of three between the Oakland A's and the Boston Red Sox. Welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo, as always, joined by Jerry Remy. Welcome to Red Sox baseball. Well, yesterday, no doubt, one of the ugliest losses of the year for the Boston Red Sox. And today, the general manager, Ben Cherington, weighed in on the state of the team.
I can still see a team that's capable of winning the division. And so, yeah, I'm confident we're going to play better. You know, we've got to improve in some areas. As a group, we need to play better baseball. There's always, in my estimation, there's always a list of reasons for what's going on. I just don't believe in silver bullet solutions in baseball. There's usually more than one thing going on, and we've got to continue to attack all those things. And you know, the challenge is identifying all those things and figuring out the right way to deal with all of them. And I would say it's rarely, you know, one thing. It's usually a number of things.
Well, it's certainly been a bad stretch, and Jerry, I'm curious to get your thoughts on what's going on right now.
Well, it's been an interesting couple of days, Don. You had the principal owner of the ball club coming out a couple of days, backing his manager, his general manager in his ball club. You have the general manager coming out today saying he still believes this team can win. They're 5.5 games back, but down deep, it's really on the players themselves. You know, you can talk as much as you want about how much you like the team and how good this team can possibly be, and I think you and I agree that it still could be a very good team, but the fact is it has to resonate in the clubhouse and on the field. And so far, that has not happened for the Boston Red Sox. They have not been able to go on to a good streak. Yesterday was just a terrible baseball game. I mean, mentally, they didn't play well. Physically, they didn't play well. And they've got to improve in all aspects of the game. And that has to start very soon because, as I said, you're 5.5 games back. You know, it's still plenty of baseball left. But you don't want to be looking at a 10-game deficit, you know, in this division. You don't want to be doing that. So it's got to start, and it's got to start very soon.
Well, they'll try to take advantage of an Oakland A's team that is in last place in the American League West. And tonight, the pitching matchup that has Scott Kazmir on the mound tonight for the A's. 2-3. Wade Miley, 4-5, goes for the Red Sox. We're back with more right after this. Experience the new Audi A3 today. Dunkin' Donuts, America runs on Dunkin'. Toyota's website for deals via Toyota.com. DraftKings, the official daily fantasy partner of your Boston Red Sox. Sullivan Tire and Auto Service, thank you New England for 60 great years. And by Southwest Airlines, book your low fare now at Southwest.com. Welcome back to Fenway Park. It's the first of three between the Oakland A's and the Boston Red Sox. Welcome back inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo. Well, the Oakland A's are here. The similar records between the Red Sox and the Oakland A's on the year. The only difference is the American League West has been a better division so far than the American League East. So much so that the A's are 11.5 games back of the Houston Astros. The Red Sox, as bad as they have played, only 5.5 games back of the New York Yankees. And Gary Streisky, again, the general manager, weighed in today.
Yeah, Don, and maybe that's the reason, in fact, that no major moves as of right now, just a little over 2 months into the season, are coming to fruition, at least for right now, according to GM Ben Cherington.
I mean, you keep your eyes open. We're always considering, all sorts of things in an effort to get better. But I think at this time of the year, again, those things usually don't transpire until a little bit later in the summer. So we're focused on how we get better internally.
Red Sox, of course, hoping to avoid that fire sale they had towards the middle point of last season at the trade deadline, hoping to avoid that this year around. Their most recent acquisition, Alejandro Diaz, that major move is making his Red Sox debut tonight in left field in Game 1 of this 3-game set with the Oakland Athletics starting tonight.
Up this 3-game series, Red Sox continuing their homestand tonight as Boston split a 4-game series with the Minnesota Twins, and Wade Miley on the mound tonight for the Red Sox. Miley about to make his 11th start of the year. Red Sox in their red alternate jerseys on this Friday night to begin the weekend series against the A's, as the Red Sox wrap up this homestand with these 3 games with the A's and then head out on the road on Sunday after the ball game going to Baltimore. So the Red Sox are 5.5 games back of the New York Yankees to begin play today. The Rays a half game back of the New York Yankees. And again, the Red Sox next will take on the Baltimore Orioles. While the Red Sox and Oakland A's have similar records, different standing really, as just mentioned a little while ago. Bob Melvin's Oakland A's, they find themselves already 11.5 games back of the surprising Houston Astros, who have 34 wins on the year. The Astros are now 34-21, with the Angels and Texas Rangers tied 5.5 games back and in second place. Now the Red Sox take the field tonight. As they do, let's check out the A's lineup. It is brought to you by your New England Chevy dealers. Billy Burns leads it off in center field with Marcus Semien at shortstop batting second. Ben Zobrist, the former Tampa Bay Ray, in left field with Billy Butler, the DH. Brett Laurie at third base with Josh Reddick, the former Red Sox outfielder, in right field. Josh Begley does the catching with Mark Canha at first base. Eric Sogard at second base bats ninth. Tonight's Red Sox starting pitcher presented by your local New England Audi dealers. Wade Miley on the mound for his 11th start of the year. 4-5 with a 4.97 earned run average. 33 strikeouts to 20 walks, and opponents hitting at .266 against Miley. He has already faced the Oakland A's this year back on May 13th at Oakland. Went 6 2/3, allowing no runs, and picked up the win.
The Red Sox defense is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. They have dropped to 10th in the league with 35 errors on the season. Brock Holt will be at third base. Xander Bogaerts the shortstop. Dustin Pedroia at second, and Mike Napoli the first baseman. Left to right, Alejandro De Aza, Mookie Betts, and Rusney Castillo, and Blake Swihart doing the catching for Wade Miley.
The umpiring crew, Clint Fagan, has got the play calling the balls and strikes with Hunter Wintelstead, the crew chief at first base, Bob Davidson at second base, and David Rackley is the umpire at third. Where available, this telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your television remote. Enjoy the game.
Buenas noches, amigos.
The conditions tonight, 60 degrees. Breeze in from right field at 13 miles per hour, and the forecast mostly cloudy in the area. Our aerial coverage is provided by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. Now Billy Burns standing in here for the Oakland A's to get it started. And Wade Miley has the first pitch fouled off to the right out of play. Our cold hard facts are brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. Billy Burns at the top of the AL rookie ranks in hits, multi-hit games, and he ranks second with 10 stolen bases. As he grounds one to first base, Mike Napoli is going to run to the bag, diving, and he gets there just ahead of Burns. And Burns got good speed, as you saw. Napoli realized it was going to have to be him to try to do it, and he dives head first to get there.
Yeah, Napoli made the right decision, too, by taking this himself, because there was a good chance that Burns was going to beat Miley to first base. So Napoli has to go into the dive, even though he's a great distance from first base. He does get there before the head first slide of Burns. So two guys diving head first into first base.
So Napoli gets a job done for the first down. Here's Marcus Semien. He'll take strike one. The shortstop for the Athletics at 277 with 6 homers and 16 runs batted in. Now, Oakland fairly good. And you look at this record, Jerry. They're fairly good offensively, pretty good pitching. Their defense has been really bad, and that has been one of their biggest problems on the year for Bob Melvin.
They're exactly right. They are 4th in the league in offense, 4th in the league in pitching, and dead last in defense.
They've made a total of 54 errors in 56 games. And there's the first strikeout of the night for Wade Miley, 2 down.
Breaking ball that time for Miley to pick up the strikeout. Miley had a 3-game winning streak stopped last time as Texas beat him, but before that had beat Oakland, Texas, and the Angels. Slider that time for Miley to pick up the strikeout, his first of the night.
Now 2 down here in the first inning for Ben Zobrist. Fouled off to the right out of play. The Red Sox were at O.Co Coliseum in Oakland. Zobrist was on the DL, but he is back now with the A's, hitting at 222, 2 homers, and 14 runs batted in his first season away from Tampa Bay. And a third, picked nicely by Holt to his left, gets up and throws out Zobrist. Nice play by Brock Holt at third base. 1-2-3 first inning. Sox are coming up. Bottom of the first inning, the Oakland A's went in order, and on the hill tonight for the A's is Scott Kazmir, the A's starting pitcher, presented by your New England Nissan dealers. 11th start of the year for Kazmir. He is 2-3 with a 2.93 earned run average, 57 strikeouts, 25 walks, and opponents hitting at 220 against the left-hander. And his first pitch in there for strike one to Dustin Pedroia. May 11th against the Red Sox, had a no decision when the Red Sox were out on the West Coast. 6 innings, 4 hits, pitched well, only 2 runs allowed. They've walked 4 in that outing. Pedroia fouls it off to the right and is down 0-2. 303 with 8 homers and 23 runs batted in for Pedroia. He was 8 for 17 in the series against the Minnesota Twins, including a double home run and a couple of RBIs. Now a line drive, base hit into center field. So Pedroia getting down 0-2. And Kazmir gives up a base hit to begin things here in the bottom of the first inning. Let's check out the Red Sox lineup. It's brought to you by our Eastern Hyundai dealers. Pedroia just led off. He is at second base for Boston, with Brock Holt getting the start at third base. Maybe a day or two off for Pablo Sandoval. It is Hanley Ramirez, the DH, with Mike Napoli at first base. Xander Bogaerts at shortstop with Mookie Betts in center field. Blake Swihart does the catching bat seventh, with Alejandro Diaz making his Red Sox debut in left, and Rusney Castillo in right field. The lead runner on here for the Red Sox, and Brock Holt taking strike one. Holt at 279 with a home run, 11 runs batted in. And at the lip of the grass at third is Brett Lawrie. Mentioned that Pablo Sandoval has tonight off. John Farrell said he may have a couple of days off. Kind of similar to what David Ortiz had happen on the last road trip, in which he gave him a couple of days to kind of take his mind off the game a little bit. And I don't know if I'd call it a benching, Jerry, but a chance here to kind of get himself together a little bit after a very tough game yesterday.
He did that with David, as you mentioned, on that last road trip where he gave him a few days off. And then when Ortiz returned for a couple of games, swung the bat very, very well. And it sounded very much like he was going to do the same thing with Sandoval here for the next couple.
1-2 to Holt, and Brock kind of lunging. Did he go? They check. No, he did not, says David Rackley, third base umpire.
You mentioned benching. Benching is generally when you come to the clubhouse, your name's not in the lineup and you don't know why. I'm sure Farrell called Sandoval in after the game yesterday and say, look, here's what we got planned for the next couple of days, and give you a little break, and we'll see how hopefully that'll help you. And sometimes after you've had a play like this, as Holt made back in the first inning, you come to the plate feeling good about yourself and get something done offensively. See what Brock can do here, the 3-2 count.
First check on Pedroia, back to the bag at first. Holt down the left field line, and this is going to get in. A fair ball to the corner. Pedroia headed for third base, and a little trouble down there in the corner for Zobrist, and now Pedroia is going to try and score. Throw to the plate will be late, and the Red Sox take a 1-0 lead.
Well, Brock Holt does something offensively. Going to the opposite field, you see how much room he's got down at the 310. There's going to be a little bobble out here. Right there, the ball gets underneath the glove of Zobrist, and that's going to allow Pedroia to score. Butterfield waving home Dustin Pedroia. And the Red Sox take a very quick 1-0 lead.
(16-7) when the Red Sox are able to score first. They have scored first here. Yesterday, Red Sox had a 4-0 advantage before they saw that go by the boards, and Tonight out to the 1-0 advantage as Hanley Ramirez, the DH in the ball game tonight. A double given to Brock Holt, no RBI.
I got to tell you, have you ever seen a third base coach from where Brian Butterfield is right now?
No.
I mean, that's unbelievable where he's located.
That's kind of far from the third base coach's box. And why is he there? What is he trying to?
I guess that gives the runner the best look, according to him, as to where to pick up the third base coach. He's got, obviously a perfect angle at anything that goes to the outfield, and a perfect angle with the runner at second base. Now the other team can stop that. They can go to the umpire and say, they can go to the umpire and say, we want the coach in the coach's box. But then if they do that, then that applies for both teams. Coaches have to stay in the box the whole game. So you very seldom see a manager complain about that.
Walking leadoff second base for Brock Holt as Hanley Ramirez climbs back in. Down 0-2 in the count. And Ramirez strikes out looking. So there's the first K for Kazmir. And his first out here.
These defenses brought to you by DraftKings, and as mentioned, they are last in the American League with 54 errors on the season. Brett Lawrie will be at third base, Marcus Semien the shortstop, Eric Sogard at second, and Mark Canner at first base. Left to right, Ben Zobrist, Billy Burns, and Josh Reddick, and Josh Begley doing the catching for Kazmir.
One down, Brock Holt at second base. The Red Sox have taken a 1-0 lead here in the first inning, and here is Mike Napoli. Napoli fouling it straight back.
One thing to watch in this game is Kazmir came out of his last start after 3 innings with tightness in his left shoulder. So we'll see if that has any effect on him in this ball game here tonight.
He's walked 25 batters so far in the year, and 23 of the 25 have been right-handed hitters. Pitch in there for a strike to Napoli, and Mike's down 0-2. The arsenal for Scott Kazmir, of course, broke in with the Tampa Bay Rays, and Red Sox seeing a lot of him as a Ray. But that Scott Kazmir, Jerry, was throwing somewhere in the 97 to 98 mile an hour range, and that is no longer part of his arsenal.
No, he has become more of a pitcher than what he was in his younger days.
Napoli strikes out. It's back-to-back Ks for Kazmir. 2 down here in the first inning.
Change up that time from Kazmir to pick up the strikeout. You saw the fastball percentage, and of course that's a combination of straight fastballs and cut fastballs that he throws. This here, obviously the changeup that goes down and away from Napoli.
So 2 down, Brock Holt at second base, and here is Xander Bogaerts hitting just under 300 at 298. 2 homers and 19 runs batted in. Bogaerts hits it in the air to right field. On the run is Reddick. Has room, and Reddick puts it away to end the inning. Red Sox get a run, take a 1-0 lead after 1. 1-0. Red Sox have the lead over the Oakland A's for Wade Miley as Billy Butler, former Kansas City Royal, leads it off. Butler at 264, 4 home runs and 28 runs batted in. DH batting out of the cleanup spot and fouls that pitch back, 1-1. Tomorrow morning, Dining Playbook comes to you from the Cask and Flag Inn. It's the ultimate place to grab a bite before you go to a Sox game. Plus, catch a Fenway Frankoff as Billy and Jenny go head-to-head. So you wins tomorrow morning at 9. One hopper off the glove of Bogaerts has a chance with Butler running, and he gets him. That ball flips up into the air, into his glove, and with Butler, who does not run well, Bogaerts looked up and realized he had a chance to get it done, and he does.
Yeah, that's the whole key right there. This ball bounces straight up and then comes right back down in the glove of Xander Bogaerts. And from that point on, no panic by Bogaerts. Takes his time because he knows that Butler does not run well. You have to know that as an infielder. Know the speed of the base runners. And that time he knew he had plenty of time to throw him out.
So 1 down, 3 ground ball outs so far. The first 4 hitters that Miley has seen in this game. And it's Brett Laurie, the former Toronto Blue Jay, in his first year with the Oakland A's. 281, 4 homers and 22 runs batted in. Meanwhile, Josh Donaldson, the former third baseman for the Oakland A's, having a great year for the Toronto Blue Jays as part of that deal. That'll skip in. Warriors hit safely in 6 of the last 7 games, hitting at .385 in the last 7 contests. Hitting at .299. As this is a broken back grounder. Back goes flying into the seats. The ball goes to second, and Pedroia throws out Laurie. 2 down. Now, see a pair of Red Sox games this summer with the 2015 Red Sox double play packs. Create your own package by selecting from a Yankees game and another summer date. Visit redsox.com/double-play to get yours today. 2 down here in the second inning, and it brings up Josh Reddick. Reddick hitting at an even .300 with 8 homers and 32 runs batted in. And a pitch in there for a strike to Reddick. This one fouled off to the left up to the top deck. I scream, you scream. We all scream for Fenway's favorite ice cream from Hood, the official dairy of the Boston Red Sox. Bring your favorites home today. There's a ground ball right side. Pedroia plays a tricky hop, kind of change direction on him, and he throws out Reddick. More ground ball outs. That's 5 for Miley, who's got a 1-0 lead. 1-0. Red Sox have the lead over the Oakland A's. We head to the bottom of the second inning.
Little defense thrown by the Red Sox last inning as we take a look, first of all, in the first inning of Mike Napoli diving in the first base to get an out. Brock Holt going to his left foot in between hop. And then Xander Bogaerts as the ball bounces straight up and back down into his glove. So very active here early in the game as the Red Sox defense.
We're going to have a little bit of a delay here at Fenway Park as a fan had been struck by the broken bat that went into the crowd last inning, and they're going to take the fan through the field, it looks like here, as they have opened the gate behind the home plate area, and they will bring the fan that way out of Fenway Park, it appears, rather than try to go back up the stands here. So Kazmir had finished his warm-up tosses, and now they have brought a stretcher over in that direction. We will step aside and come back with more from Fenway Park with the Red Sox on top 1-0. The Oakland A's as we're about to start the bottom of the second inning. And the Red Sox and Oakland A's here as we are in the midst of a delay here at the ballpark. A fan struck with a broken bat. It's in about the second row to the left of the on-deck circle for the Oakland A's, and they have taken the fan out down the right field line down Canvas Alley to get medical attention. So Scott Kazmir, who had been warming up, stopped warming up, and now we resume play here in the second inning. That's Swihart and Diaza expected to bat in the inning. That's at 243 with 5 home runs, 25 runs batted in. Two strikeouts in the first inning for Kazmir. Popped up foul off to the right, and that'll be foul. Still 0-2.
Back-to-back changeups to Mookie Betts, both of them down and away, and very quickly ahead. No balls and 2 strikes is the second changeup that Betts is able to foul off, but a very tough pitch there. You can see where the second and third pitch are. They were both changed.
No 2-pitch outside. Mookie sliding down to the 6th spot in the order tonight. This ever-changing lineup as John Farrell continues to try to find the combination that's going to get a spark. And this is out to center, and Billy Burns out there waiting. Makes the catch for the first out of the inning. Sunday at 6, don't miss an all-new Ultimate Red Sox show presented by AAA. Tom Caron will show you the best moments from the week in Red Sox baseball. 1 out, 4 in a row, retired by Scott Kazmir after he gave up a single and a double in the first inning. Now deals with Blake Swihart, who got his first major league home run here yesterday. 8 RBIs and a .218 average coming in. Liner right to the shortstop Simeon, who makes the catch both hands. 2 down. 5 in a row now retired by Kazmir. Well, just one Nexium 24-hour a day gives you all day, all night protection from frequent heartburn. Go to Nexium 24-hour for savings and pick up Nexium 24-hour at your local Stop and Shop. 2 outs here in the second inning for Alejandro Diaza in his Red Sox debut. This year with the Orioles in 30 games, a .214 average, 3 homers and 7 runs batted in. On the ground right side as Sogard will throw out Diaza, and it's a 1-2-3 second for Kazmir. 1-0 Red Sox through 2.
Okay. Yeah, it's always uncomfortable.
Oh, did a great job. 1-0. Red Sox have the lead over the Oakland A's. We head to the top of the 3rd inning. It is great to have Ryan Westmoreland with us. And Ryan, it's great to see you. Thanks for coming up.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Appreciate it.
I've been
very good.
All right.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your story. I know a lot of Red Sox fans and New Englanders know, but tell us about what happened to you.
I was drafted in high school in 2008. I played 1 season in Lowell, single A, and I reported the next year for spring training and had some numbness. My whole arm went numb. My leg went numb. Lost complete balance and got an MRI, and that showed cavernous angioma. It ultimately required surgery. That's in 2010.
And that was the first time. How
Yes.
many surgeries have you had since?
I've had 2 brain surgeries, 16 total surgeries.
And last year you were at the baseball writers dinner and spoke there for the first time so eloquently. And now you are an ambassador. Tell us a little bit about that and what your role is going to be.
Yeah, well, the NGO Alliance is a charity, an organization that, we're trying to just spread awareness for the condition that I had and so many other people have. And it's very unknown. Not a lot of people know exactly what we do, what we're about. And, through my story and so many others like me, people are starting to realize that this is something that needs to be taken care of. And right now, the only treatment is brain surgery, which unfortunately I had twice. But we're working hard to raise money and awareness to hopefully eventually find a cure.
Well, I know you still have some teammates that are still around that played with you as well. Who are some of them that are here now?
Daniel Nava, Xander Bogaerts, pretty much all of the guys I know I have met. There are a few like Nava and Bogaerts and Mookie Betts who I know personally, and we're good friends. We grew up together, or not grown up, but played together. And it's just so special to be back here and those guys to remember me, because they could have very easily just forgotten about me, and but they didn't. And that means the world to me.
Well, thank you very much for coming. It was great to see you. Good luck.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Appreciate
Thank
it. Ryan Westmoreland with us. Red Sox lead it 1-0. One to nothing. Red Sox have the lead over the Oakland A's as the Sox come to bat here in the bottom of the third inning. As Rusney Castillo leads it off. Castillo, Pedroia, and Holt to face Scott Kazmir. Gave up back-to-back hits in the first inning. Since then has retired 6 Red Sox in a row. And drives this Castillo to deep left, and it is high off the wall. Zobrist plays the ricochet very well. And Castillo holds with a very long single and nearly got it up over the monster in left.
Yeah, he got a hold of a changeup right there, put a very good charge into it, and just missed a home run. This ball bounces right back to Ben Zobrist, and he quickly gets it back in. That's going to hold Castillo to the single. That's a long, hard single right there. Because Zobrist, familiar with Fenway Park, played here as a member of the Tampa Bay Rays.
Castillo on here, second time in 3 innings. The Red Sox have had the lead runner on as Dustin Pedroia will take a pitch down low. Pedroia singled on an 0-2 pitch in the first inning. Came around to score the game's lone run. Castillo gains his lead at first base, held on by Mark Canha. And a wide drive, base hit into left field for Pedroia. He's had a very good homestand, and he continues in a hot pace here. First two have reached in the third.
Now he's facing a guy, too, that he's had an awful lot of success against. 475 coming into the game. And back-to-back hits in his first two at-bats. That time it's a cut fastball that you can see coming back inside. That's where Pedroia likes the baseball. And a line shot past Laurie at third base.
Two on, nobody out. And Brock Holt coming up here for the Red Sox. In at third is Laurie. In front of the runner at first is Canha. Holt had a double in the first inning. One of now 4 Red Sox hits. The bunt bid, and it is a foul ball. Boston-based daily fantasy company DraftKings.com, the official daily fantasy partner of your Boston Red Sox, is giving out $300 million in cash prizes. Enter promo code NESSN to play for free. Back-to-back base hits here for the Red Sox in the third inning. 2 on, nobody out. And Holt was bunting. He is down 0-1.
And Oakland still expecting the bunt from Brock Holt.
In there for strike 2. Center fielder Billy Burns over towards left center. Somewhat of a gap out there in right center field. And a ground ball to shortstop. To the backhand goes Semien to second for one, on to first. That's all they'll get. And awkwardly into the bag at first went Holt. I think he's okay, but strangely went into first. Almost kind of hopped onto the bag. They do get the middleman there in Pedroia for the second out.
It is the backhanded play by Semien. Very little chance to get the double play, although they do try. And Brock Holt at first base. Sometimes as you get close to the bag, you jump for it. And you can see right there he slips off the back part of the bag. But apparently he's okay. Fortunate he didn't twist an ankle doing that, but he hit the back of the bag and he slipped. Very unusual to see cleats go like that across the bag.
So first and third, one down, and here's Hanley Ramirez. He'll take a pitch outside for ball 1. Hanley struck out looking in the first inning. One of 2 Ks for Kazmir. They came back to back, Ramirez and Napoli in the first. Here is Castillo at third, Holt at first with 1 out in the inning. Trying to get it done here for the Red Sox on top 1-0, and Ramirez trying to add to it here as the Red Sox bat in the third. To right field, Reddick on the move towards the dirt of the warning track, makes the basket catch. Tagging at third is Castillo. The throw will get away. Run scores and a runner moves up in Brock Holt. Red Sox lead it 2-0.
I think it's a good time to bring this up. And, you know, yesterday Brian Butterfield came under heavy criticism for waving home Mike Napoli in that ball game yesterday. But I promise you one thing. He is not going to change. That's his nature. He's a very aggressive third base coach. Now, when you look at this play right here, Josh Reddick is on the run, but he's on the run toward the stands, which is going to make it a little bit more difficult. So no hesitation that time trying to score Rusney Castillo.
Error charge to the right fielder, Josh Reddick, allowing Holt to get to second base. So the error is continuing for the Oakland A's defense. It has not been very good. Here is Mike Napoli. It's a fly ball to short right field. Reddick coming in, and he'll get there to make the catch that ends the inning. Red Sox get another run, take a 2-0 lead through 3. 100 feels great, especially when all you have to do to get $100 is open an Eastern free checking account. Learn more at easternbank.com/free checking. Foul ball down the right field line off the bat of Billy Burns, who gets his second look tonight at Wade Miley. Grounded out to first base, first time up. Miley has retired the first 9 Oakland A's that he has faced in the game. Brock Holt at the lip of the grass at third base. Burns got very good speed. Always a chance that he may try to drop one down. Time call very late. Miley was ready to go, and normally he is ready to go. Very quick worker.
Yeah, a lot of times they will not allow that. You can see the home plate umpire talking to Burns. That's too late to be calling timeout.
Fouled backhand. It's 0-2. It's time to vote for your Red Sox All-Stars using the 2015 Esurance MLB All-Star Game Ballot at RedSox.com. Make sure to vote early and often. Very defensive emergency swing there by Burns, fouling it off to the right.
Now, Burns is a guy that's not going to take a lot of pitches. He's a free swinger, only 6 walks out of that leadoff spot so far this season.
Does come in with a .323 average as he sends one to right center field, and that's going to get in for a base hit. So there is the first hit of the night for the Oakland A's, their first base runner. As we send it down to Gary.
Jerry, to piggyback off your point about Butterfield, he actually addressed the media yesterday after the game to pretty much defend it. He says he doesn't second guess himself at all and backed it up with the fact that given the game situation, and even you brought it up in terms of the hitting situation and the hitting scenarios, with all the shadows beginning to creep in, he said he was worth the risk. He wanted to take that risk by sending Napoli. He says he doesn't regret it whatsoever, and I think anybody that knows Butterfield isn't surprised whatsoever that he took full ownership of that decision.
Well, he did take full ownership of it. I'm not buying it, a little bit. But the fact is that he's a very aggressive third base coach, and he's not going to change. That's been his nature ever since he's been here with the Red Sox. That will not change. He will continue to be aggressive. But the fact is, yesterday I couldn't go along with the decision.
Napoli, unfortunately, was out by quite a bit. Simeon grounds it up the middle. Could be 2 to second for 1. And quickly, a high throw to first, but Napoli keeps the foot on the bag. Nicely done there by Napoli on a throw that was kind of rising. They turn the double play.
A nice play by the Red Sox middle infield is first of all Pedroia going to the bag. Just a little underhand flip to Bogarts and the rising throw to first base, but Napoli able to make the play. Now, I understand when I was making a comment that I slipped. I had a slip of the tongue, and I apologize for that.
2 down here in the 4th inning. Ben Zobrist, the batter.
And the reason I know that is because Don was laughing like crazy up here. But
Zobrist grounded out to third base in the 1st inning. Oh, 2 pitch on the ground left side. Holt to his left. And it is in time to get Zobrist. So leadoff hit from Miley, allowed by Miley, turns into a double play in a quick inning. 2-0 Boston. There is a wall that defines them. At Eastern Bank, being first feels like $100. Just open an Eastern free checking account in the month of June, and you'll get $100. Learn more at easternbank.com/free checking. Wall out there in between the bullpens, but chance to talk out there in the bullpens. 1-0 pitch is going to miss, and it's 2-0. Bogarts fly to right his first time up, and here's a fly ball to left. It pretty well. Zobrist back of the over his head and off the bottom of the wall. To second base goes Xander Bogaerts, sliding with a leadoff double.
You know, a lot of times on that left field wall, if it hits above the scoreboard, you can get a pretty clean bounce out of it. When it hits on the scoreboard, you have no idea where it's going to go. There's the contact by Bogaerts. Good, solid line drive contact that's going to hit the scoreboard and then carry him away from Ben Zobrist, which is going to allow him to go to second base. Totally different playing the top of the wall and the scoreboard area.
So Bogaerts in scoring position, third time in 4 innings. The Red Sox have had the lead runner on, and a bunt down the third baseline for Betts. A good one. Throw is going to be wild and gets away. Around comes Bogaerts to score, and the Red Sox take a 3-0 lead. Lowry probably would have been better suited just holding on to that baseball after the bunt of Betts. Instead, he fires it away.
Well, we talked about the defense, and the defense right here, not good for the Oakland Athletics. Beautiful bunt by Mookie Betts down the third base line, and there was no play hardly at all here for Lowry, but he still tries to get the out at first base. The throw is way off the mark, and a run comes home. So the Red Sox sacrificing, or Betts doing that on his own with the man at second base.
And a throw to first, and back to the bag is Betts. Single on the play. Error charge to Lowry, no RBI. Well, the defensive woes continue for the Athletics.
I'd like to see the Red Sox keep the pressure on with a little hit and run action.
Like Swihart lined out to the shortstop Marcus Semien in the second inning. Takes the 1-0 for a strike, 1-1.
Swihart is a guy that they have put that play on with before. Mookie Betts, of course, with base stealing ability, but what kind of nullifies that a little bit is the left-handed pitcher on the mound.
On the ground to third base. Lowry will go to second for 1, on to first for 2. So a double play turn there by the Oakland A's. Their first twin killing of the game. 2 down.
A changeup by Kazmir to induce that ground ball. No action on the bases that time. And you can see Lowry going to his left. Plenty of time for Sogard to get rid of it at second base and get that double play against Swihart. Swihart hustling as hard as he can down the line, but out by a good half step at first base.
2 down for Alejandro Diaza. Grounded out to second base. His first Red Sox at bat in the second inning. He's acquired along with Cash from Baltimore in exchange for Joe Gunkel, right-handed minor league pitcher for the Red Sox, added to the major league roster yesterday. Didn't go, says David Rackley, third base umpire. He had been designated for assignment by the Orioles on May 27th. Veteran of parts of 8 major league seasons. Line drive, center field, and a base hit for Diaz, his first in a Red Sox uniform.
Diaz came into the game 2 for 3 in his career against Kazmir. He got the start tonight and picks up the base hit. 1 for 2 in this one. Gets the breaking ball right there from Kazmir and takes it right back up the middle for the base hit. Diaz, who chokes up on the bat a little bit, keeping the weight back, head on the baseball, and good solid contact up the middle.
Red Sox with a 2-out base runner and the number 9 man, Rusney Castillo, standing in. Castillo with a single scored a run in the 3rd inning as one of now 7 Red Sox hits. Red Sox out hitting the Oakland A's 7-1. Now hit safely in 8 of 12 starts since coming up from Pawtucket. Fouled off at the plate, 1-2. Ace Ticket, the official Red Sox ticket partner, has the best seats at the lowest prices to all the games at Fenway. All the 200% guarantee. Right now, Ace Ticket has special savings on all Red Sox games, including the Yankees. Visit Ace Ticket or call 1-800-MY-SEATS. 50th pitch of the night for Kazmir. Missing for ball 2, 2-2. Castillo bats now with 2 outs. Pedroia waits on deck. Full count now, so Diaz at first can get a start.
Situation where you don't want to get picked off at first base. You make sure that the pitcher is throwing home. First baseman backs off just a little bit, but runner has to make sure the ball's going to the plate.
And a swing and a miss. Castillo strikes out. 3rd strikeout for Kazmir. Red Sox out a run, take a 3-0 lead. Three to nothing. Red Sox have the lead now over the Oakland A's. To the 5th inning we go, and Billy Butler leads it off here for the Athletics. .263 average for Butler coming in. Grounded to short. His first time up, now goes to 3rd. Deep 3rd. Long throw for Holt, but he'll get it there with plenty of time to spare. Our aerial coverage is provided by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. 11 ground ball outs for Wade Miley. The other outs, 2 strikeouts. So he's got the good sinking action working here in this game tonight. Here is Brett Lawrie, who grounded out to second base in the second inning. We've got to look firsthand at this Oakland defense. They've made 3 errors in this game. As I mentioned, coming into this game tonight, they led the league in errors. They swing and a miss. And it is 2-1, and their defense has not gotten any better tonight.
With the 3 tonight, 57 errors on the season, this being their 57th game.
Fouled off, 2-2. Right now you can get up to 60 months with no interest on anything at Jordan's Furniture. Furnish one room or your entire home. Best of all, you get to enjoy it now. Visit Jordans.com for details. This is grounded sharply back up the middle into left center field. A 1-out single for Brett Lawrie.
That's now a 4-game hitting streak for Lawrie. He is in that span 7 for 13.
One out, one on, and Josh Reddick coming up. He grounded out to second base in the second inning.
See Lawrie talking to the first base umpire, complaining that that's possibly a balk by Miley. Miley with a very, very difficult move to pick up at first base. He shortens up runners.
Hunter Winselstead, the umpire at first, and crew chief.
This was the pickoff attempt at first base, and he gets me every time. He picks me off in the booth.
This one fouled off to the left.
He's one of those guys that if I was playing, if it was 90 years ago, I'd probably have a lead of about 1.5 feet at first base because I cannot read him. I can't read him.
In the air down the left field line. Diaza on the run. That's going to fall. Foul. Hangs around down there in the corner, but a foul ball. Red Sox suites and premium packages provide a VIP experience for you and your guests. Call 877 Red Sox 9 or email premiumsales@redsox.com for more information. One out, one on here in the Oakland 5th inning. Jammed and a pop-up foul ground. Holt and Swihart, but it'll be into the seats, well out of their reach. Well, tomorrow at 3, don't miss. Red Sox first pitch presented by Joseph Abboud, available at Men's Warehouse. TC and Jim Rice will be joined by A's broadcaster Ray Fosse. Just mentioned Joseph Abboud, and there is Joseph Abboud.
It's a pretty nice looking scarf, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Reddick goes around and strikes out. Third K for Miley. 2 down.
Miley to the slider, down and away from Reddick. And Reddick cannot control the head of the bat. The strike called on the swing by Reddick. Are you a scarf kind of guy? Do you wear a scarf?
It's funny. We talked to Joseph about this at an event we were at together in November when he came with the scarf. Remember?
My wife wanted that scarf.
Yes.
And he said he'd give it to her, but he didn't.
No, because he was going somewhere else and he needed it as part of his look that night. Remember? He said it's
She
something
loved
around
that. She loved
yeah.
that thing, and she wanted it really bad.
It's a great scarf, and we're going to talk to him about scarves. I mean, although here we are during the summer, it'd be tough to wear.
But are you a scarf guy in the winter?
No, not really. No,
I'm not either.
No, but he is, and yeah, he rocks it. I mean, look at it. Josh Fegley, the batter, and he'll bloop this to right field. Going to get in for a hit as Laurie heads for third base. Spinning is Castillo to get it back in, and the Oakland A's with runners at first and third with 2 down.
Fegley also has been a hot hitter for the Oakland Athletics. He's got a little mini streak going of 4 games now, and it's 7 for his last 14. As he inside outs the ball to right field, you can see Laurie heading on to third base. That ball was back in on the hands and able to push that ball off to the opposite field.
First and third, 2 down for Mark Canha. He grounded out to second base. Now lines one to right field, taking it the other way, and in from third comes Laurie. The Oakland A's are on the board. It's now 3-1. 2-out RBI single for Mark Canha.
Now 2 guys going to the opposite field against Miley, trying to stay away from those ground balls. And once again, the opposite field. Canha picking up his 21st RBI and cutting it to a 3-1 ball game now. So the damage coming with 2 outs here in the 5th inning.
Eric Sogard digs in. Tying run now at first base. As Sogard will take ball 1 a little bit high. A second baseman grounded out to his counterpart at second base, and Dustin Pedroia in the 3rd inning. Fouled at the plate, 1-1. 2 outs and runners in scoring position. Sogard's been good at .316. That's with Fegley at second base, Canha at first. A run already in. And a strike call. Borderline. Miley will take it, 1-2.
That's exactly what John Farrell was talking about in his press conference this afternoon, how the strike zone has expanded. It's lower and seems to be wider on both sides of the plate.
High for ball 2, 2-2. Yankees are back home tonight. They're hosting the Angels. They're in the 4th inning, and New York has a 4-0 lead tonight. Yankees beginning the night with a half-game lead over Tampa Bay. Strike 3 call. Sogard down by way of the K. Oakland gets a run. It's 3-1 Boston. a high school or a college player? Text 1 for high school, text 2 for college. Text your answer to 536-536. Message and data rates may apply. One message per vote. Visit NESN.com/terms for terms and conditions and privacy policy.
I would rather draft a college player because I think they are farther along, obviously, in their progress.
Harder to predict, you think, the high school player?
Yeah, I think so. I got drafted out of high school, and it was a long road, believe me, from high school to the big leagues. And, you know, a lot of these guys now, these college programs are absolutely terrific to play for.
Dustin Pedroia leading it off here in the inning.
It's a good example right here. Dustin Pedroia, Arizona State.
Takes a strike, and it's 3-1. 2 for 2 already tonight. A single to center, a single to left. With Brock Holt and Hanley Ramirez to follow. Red Sox batting here in the 5th. And a strike call to make it full. For every Red Sox hit in June, Echo Store Technologies will donate $50 to the Sean Thornton Foundation. Echo Store is proud to assist in helping and find a cure for Parkinson's disease and pediatric cancer. To learn more, log on to echostore.com. Echo Store Technologies, your data center solutions provider. Fouled off to the left, out of play by Dustin Pedroia. Back into the grandstand.
Last 15 games for Dustin Pedroia, the .410 average, brought to you by Alex Spear. We'll have him on with us. Alex in another inning.
To right center field and driven as Reddick heads back and dives and can't get it. It gets by him to the track of the wall. Pedroia is headed to second as his 3rd hit of the ball game. This one's a double, and a fantastic bit out there by Reddick, but it just eluded him.
Well, that's 2 gems right there for Alex Spear already in this game. Earlier in the game, he had a graphic up there on Pedroia with 2 strikes on him, which was incredible. And here we get a fastball away, and Pedroia goes to the opposite field. He is really on everything right now, hitting the ball hard. That's 3 great at-bats tonight by Dustin Pedroia. There's the attempt out there by Reddick, a very good attempt, as this ball comes back to him just a little bit, but can't quite reach it. And Pedroia at second with nobody out. Now Holt's going to get him to third.
7th 3-hit game of the year for Dustin Pedroia. They're in at the corners here for the Athletics. And Holt will take strike 1.
It's already been a good game for Brock Holt defensively at third base, throwing the leather around and also picking up a double back in the 1st inning with the Red Sox run scoring on the error out there in left field.
Now ground ball right side. Sogard lays it out, gets by him into right. Here comes Pedroia around. Red Sox will take a 4-1 lead.
Well done by Holt, obviously. That's what he's trying to do. Hit the ball to the right side to advance Pedroia, and he gets the bonus. He gets Sogard diving. He did knock the ball down, but the ball gets by him. And once it gets by him, that allows Pedroia to score. So Holt does his job. Sogard trying to do his by knocking the ball down. It gets by him, and Pedroia comes on to score.
Holt at first, held on now by Canna. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 5th. And it brings up Hanley Ramirez. And a sac fly his last time up. Action in the pen right now. Fernando Rodriguez up in the pen. First action for Bob Melvin out there. Strike call, and Hanley down 0-2. Pitching line for Kazmir brought to you by your Eastern Lexus dealers. 4+, 9 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned. Has not walked anybody and has 3 strikeouts. Lead runner has been on in 4 of 5 innings for the Red Sox in this game. And in each of those innings, the Red Sox have scored a run. The lead runner has come around.
See Brock Holt peeking in for the signs right there. That's not to give him to Ramirez.
And he strikes out. 4th strikeout for Kazmir. First out of the inning. Second time Ramirez has struck out in the game.
Go back to Brock Holt for a second. And, you know, when you take your lead off first base, if you're a guy that can steal bases, especially with a right-handed hitter at the plate, you try to take a peek in. And most guys, not all, but a lot of guys try to take a peek in. And what they're looking for is the off-speed sign. And they're looking for the off-speed sign so they can possibly steal. Now watch Holt as he takes a peek. Catcher trying to cover up. Looks like maybe a throw to first base here.
Pitch is low, and Holt steals second base.
Well, obviously, whatever sign Holt saw, he's seen before, because to me, I thought when they stuck the finger out, it was going to look like it was going to go to first base. There's no throw to first base, and Brock Holt gets an excellent jump at first base. But that's what the base stealers try to do.
Mike Napoli looks at ball 2, 2-0.
One more look. You peek in. You got to make sure you keep your eye on that pitcher too. But he's looking for the sign in there. That's not to give to the hitter. That's for his benefit.
Napoli taking the pitch inside, is now ahead 3-0. Struck out swinging in the first inning, flied out to right in the third. That's with Xander Bogaerts waiting on deck in the Boston 5th inning, already a run in off Kazmir.
How about a green light here, Don? 3-0.
I'd give it to him. Takes strike one, and it's 3-1.
Yeah, that's not the kind of pitch you want to swing at. 3 balls, no strikes. You're looking for the ball middle in, especially a guy like Napoli, something you can drive out of the ballpark. And Kazmir makes a nasty pitch on the 3-0 count.
Kazmir in his career 9-8 with a 3.94 ERA against Boston. 29th career start against the Red Sox for Kazmir. And of course, most of those coming in a Tampa Bay Rays uniform. '70th pitch for Kazmir is a 3-1 pitch to Napoli. And Napoli fouls it back. Full count. Double to begin the inning by Pedroia. An RBI single by Brock Holt. And the Ramirez struck out. So 1 out, 1 on. A runner at second. And Napoli with a full count. On the ground softly. Kazmir has it. Plants and throws low, but it is dug out by Canha. He bounced that one. And Canha saved him there to pick that. As Holt takes third base with now 2 down.
And Canha saved the run with that pick at first base. It's the setup, as you can see, by the pitcher, Kazmir, but the bounce. And if that ball gets by him, obviously that's another run for the Red Sox. So very nice play by Canha over at first base to save a run.
Could have been the 4th error of this game for the Oakland A's. Canha saves him as taking third is Brock Holt with 2 down in the inning. Here is Xander Bogaerts. He's fly to right and doubled. Now it's time for our Lowe's Never Stop Improving profile. Coming into tonight, Xander Bogaerts has improved dramatically his last 20 games compared to his first 30. Last 20 games, a .373 average, .394 on base percentage, and multiple hits in 4 of his last 5 games. Swung at the 2-0 and fouled it back. Got the fastball, and it was in a good spot for him, but he fouled it back. Trying to get that runner in from third here with 2 outs is Xander Bogaerts. Holt gets his walking lead off third base. And a liner that is a foul ball.
Yeah, Bogaerts breaking his bat on that line drive. Hooking, and going into foul territory.
Two pitch. That's outside for ball 3. Good sprawling play by Fegley. Saved a run right there. Get immediate care without leaving the ballpark at the Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center First Aid Station, located behind Section 12 on the lower concourse. BIDMC is the official hospital of the Boston Red Sox. Payoff pitch. And it's ball 4. Bogaerts down to first base. There's the first walk of the night given up by Kazmir. And here comes Bob Melvin. So the 2-out walk. Be the end of the night here for Kazmir, it appears. And Melvin will make the move. So with 2 outs here in the 5th inning, and the Red Sox on top 4-1. The pitching change from Fenway. Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com.
Nice look into the truck, the headquarters of Red Sox baseball here on Nesson.
Scott Kazmir leaving this game with 2 outs in the 5th inning, responsible for the runners at the corners. And allowing 9 hits tonight. New pitcher now is Fernando Rodriguez. His 13th appearance, 0-1 with a 5.68 earned run average. 14 strikeouts to 4 walks, and opponents hitting at 255 against Fernando Rodriguez.
Hey, can we go back to that shot of the truck in a minute? We got a new producer who has joined us on Nesson, Jeff Mitchell. We'd like to get a shot of him if we can. Jeff, wave, will you?
He's hiding. He doesn't want to be part of this.
You know why he's hiding? Looks like David Crosby.
David Crosby, yes. Yes, he does. Pitch outside. Oh, outside corner, apparently. Appeared to be outside. Mookie Betts thought so. I thought so. But it's strike 1. Betts has lined out to center. Reached on an infield hit. Bats here with runners at first and third. The arsenal for Fernando Rodriguez: 82% fastball, 14% breaking balls, and 4% changeups. He's given up 8 runs in his last 8 outings. Buries that one in the dirt and falls behind here 2-1.
Fagley with a good block behind the plate. It's the breaking ball, expecting it down in the dirt, and keeps the runners at first and third. Kind of textbook right there by Fagley.
In there for strike 2, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, good velocity, 94 on that last fastball from Rodriguez.
Rockhold at third base. Xander Bogaerts at first with 2 down here in the Boston 5th inning. That swings and misses and strikes out. Rodriguez gets him. The Red Sox lead 2 on, but take a 4-1 lead. Oakland A's as we head into the 6th inning. It's great to have with us Boston Globe's Alex Spear, be a frequent contributor to our home game broadcast. You've seen a few of his analytics observations pop up on the screen tonight, and it's great to have Alex with us. So welcome to Nesson, Alex.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it, Don. Thanks, Jerry. Good
Alex?
to see you.
Well, it has been great so far in the game to get to some of your tidbits and analytics throughout the game. Tell us a little bit about what you're going to be doing and providing for us.
Hopefully not missing the mark too often. Trying to add to what you guys are already seeing and describing so elegantly on the field by kind of offering an additional perspective, bringing in some of the numbers that give context to what they're doing, not just in this game, but over a broader period of time, hopefully. I'll mess up plenty, too.
Well, I know you have a broad knowledge of the farm system as well, having read you for many years on Twitter, as a matter of fact. This one fouled back and following you. Tell us about the minor league system right now, and is it as deep as some think it may be?
It's interesting because a lot of the guys in AAA Pawtucket right now who you would know as top prospects, Henry Owens, Garen Cicchini, some others, are struggling a bit. And so it's not a top-heavy farm system right now. The strength of it is really down below. In Single-A Greenville, they have a number of guys that look like they have a chance, some star potential. In fact, Yoan Moncada, of course, you heard about when he signed for $31.5 million and cost the Red Sox $63 million. They also have a really impressive young hitter named Rafael Devers, who's been tearing up Single-A ball at the age of 18. An interesting shortstop named Javier Guerra. There is a lot of strength across the system. And I think that we're starting to see some of that with Eduardo Rodriguez up, certainly.
This one fouled back out of play, and
Now,
it is 2-2.
Are we going to have your tidbits like every single game, or are you just going to take a couple days off and then give us some, or is it going to be? It's going to be all the time, right?
It's a long season, Jerry. I need some days off, so you're going to be seeing a lot of me at home games, periodically on the road as well. But it won't be for the full boat.
Because we've already had 3 on tonight.
At least.
They've all been right on. We had the 2 strikes by Pedroia. That was right on. We had him against over the last, 20 games or something. That was already on.
I credit the production truck because they've filtered out plenty that were just whiffs completely.
Billy Burns with a swing and a miss here, and Wade Miley picks up his 5th strikeout. Your thoughts on Wade Miley?
This is a fascinating game for him because this is probably the first time that we've seen a real glimpse of the guy the Red Sox thought they were getting when they traded for him. Every out this game, I believe, has been recorded either by strikeout or by ground ball. He's up to, we're at 16 outs right now. 11 of them have come by ground ball.
And as you say that, here is a fly ball to right field that's going to fall in front of Rusney. He'll pick it on a hop. So a base hit for Simeon with 1 out here in the 6th inning.
Very convenient that dropped in to keep the streak intact. But I think that Miley has not elicited more than 14 ground balls in a single outing this year. So this is really a good sign for the Red Sox that he's been attacking. And the strike throwing is outrageous. He entered the game as one of the least frequent finders of the strike zone among all starting pitchers in the majors. I think he had the 2nd worst strike throwing rate of any qualifying starter, something like 57%. Today, we're looking at him in more than 3 out of every 4 pitches as a strike.
I did not know that.
It's at 78% right now. I know that because I looked at the Giants scoreboard in left center field. And here's another one of Alex's tidbits. And we are really looking forward to a lot of these throughout the course of the year. What are your thoughts on the state of the team right now?
Ben Cherington held court today, and we got to hear his thoughts on it, which are probably more relevant than my own. He noted that there are a lot of positive, promising signs for the Red Sox. There's that nasty pickoff move that Miley has. Unbelievable. But there are certainly some extremely promising signs. The fact that Xander Bogaerts looks like he's maybe emerging right now is a significant one. Pedroia being where he is, and the starting staff having stabilized with regular turns of the rotation that are competent. That said, obviously it's going to take more than a couple of guys on the offense to sustain a run that you need to be competitive. They've been given this gift of being in a division in the American League East where they can play this way and still be within sniffing distance of first place, but they are going to have to be a very different team going forward over these last 2/3 of the season.
Yeah, you look at the records of both these teams on the field, and they're both relatively similar. The only difference is Oakland, of course, in the American League West, they're 11.5 games out and sort of already buried on the year.
Yeah, I think that they're pretty similar teams, in fact. If you look at kind of the way in which they've scored runs and allowed them, the fact that neither of them has been able to be consistent. I think the A's just had their first 4-game winning streak. The Red Sox are one of 5 teams in the majors that haven't had a winning streak of more than 3 games. And the difference is striking. If you are in the NL Central and from the way the Red Sox have, you're buried. Same in the AL West right now. You're already hearing talk about Ben Zobrist being a trade target for the A's. The Red Sox are still kind of in the buyer bucket potentially, so that tells you a lot.
This one fouled back. Good battle going on right now.
Alex, we also understand that not only are you going to be helping us out during the broadcast, but also working with the pregame and postgame.
Yeah, I got a chance to go on with the pregame show today to talk a little bit about the minor league season and the impending Major League draft, where the Red Sox are picking number 7 overall for just the 3rd time they've picked that high since 1967. So it's a kind of rare opportunity for them as Zobrist takes that walk, but it's one in which you kind of get excited about a draft pick and then you realize, wait a second, it then takes him 5 years to become a big leaguer, probably another 7 or 8 to become an established big leaguer. So it's a pretty amazing process, and you know this far better than I do, having been through it, Jerry. But the gap between what a guy is as an amateur and what he has to be to become an established major leaguer is extraordinary.
With that in mind, our poll question tonight is this one is grounded up the middle. Pedroia will flip to second for 1, on to first for 2. That will end it. We thank you very much, Alex Spear. We look forward to watching you, reading you, all of it coming up.
Thanks so much. Great to see you.
Thanks, Alex.
Appreciate it, Jerry.
Okay.
Tonight's Dunkin' Donuts poll question, we asked, would you rather draft a high school or college player? And tonight, the answer pretty clear, college.
I go along with that, and I go along with the landslide, even though I was drafted out of high school. But I think that's the way to go because of the experience and the great college programs that they have today. Quite different than many, many years ago.
Of course, you went on to play ping pong at college for 2 weeks after that, and then went into the draft again, right?
Yeah, and I will admit I did pretty well in the ping pong tournaments down
really
at St. Leo's. Yeah, I did.
Blake Swihart leading it off here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Ground ball down the third baseline, a fair ball, and a good throw and a good stretch at first base there for Canna. It's time for a game break brought to you by Jordan's. Tom Caron. Back at Fenway Park where it's 4-1. The Red Sox have the lead. Alejandro Diaza. Takes strike one. He is 1 for 2, a single in the 4th inning. New pitcher Eric O'Flaherty is 9th appearance, 0-2. Some tough numbers, 11.57 earned run average. Opponent sitting at 355 against O'Flaherty.
You know, Don, Alex was talking about what a crapshoot really the draft is, and I hate talking about myself, but I'm a perfect example of that because I was drafted way down the bottom in the secondary draft, which was a draft that was in January. I didn't sign in the first draft. I was a very low pick. He told me to go to college. I did that. And here it is 40-some years later, still in the business. So, you know, and when I went to spring training, I was so overmatched by everybody because they were from California, Texas, Florida, where they had played a lot of baseball. We played like 16 games in high school. How do you judge somebody, you know, out of 16 games in high school?
And you're projecting a lot. I mean, you're projecting.
Yeah, and the only thing I had going for me in high school was that I could run. And I was like a pick because they had picks left.
Right.
That's basically what it was. And then I almost got sent home my first spring training. And there was one guy that happened to latch on to me, said, I like this kid because he can run. I'll teach him how to play. And his name was Kenny Myers. I'll never forget him. And, you know, you end up making the big leagues. You play in the big leagues for 11 years. You get a job like this. And it's kind of remarkable how things work out. Then you see these high picks, you know, that I saw my first year in spring training, driving the Corvettes. And, you know, Angels 1, Angels 2.
I never saw him again.
Nowhere to be found. You know, it's really, it's a tough science. It really is.
Amazes me too that you know, the first round draft choice is not only one shot. Generally, if you're a first round draft choice with one organization, you don't make it with that organization. You still get some other shots with other organizations.
Sure.
Just because you were a first round draft choice and somebody at some point saw something enough to make you a first round draft choice.
No, if you're a first, a second, third round draft choice, you're making a lot of money. First of all, getting drafted, and you're going to get pushed through the organization. They're going to give you every opportunity. Mm-hmm. If you're down the bottom making $500 a month, you know, you're out of there quickly.
Right.
So it's really a difficult, very difficult thing to judge.
This one fouled off the catcher Fegley. 2-2 the count here to Rusney Castillo with 2 outs in the inning. Now tomorrow at 3:30, don't miss Red Sox Game Day Live presented by DCU. TC and Jim Rice will preview Monday's MLB draft. DCU, Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you? Right side and way over to the second base side is Canha. The pitcher didn't cover.
Nope.
Very late as he became a spectator watching Canha go to the second base side, and Castillo will reach.
How many times in spring training do you see that practiced, right? Every single day, and it still happens where a pitcher will freeze and not cover first base. I mean, I think what happened there is O'Flaherty made the mistake of thinking the second baseman was going to make the play on this. Instead, it was the first baseman, Canha, and the pitcher was late getting there. Falls off toward third base. He's looking at his second baseman. He's not making the play, and I got no chance to beat Rusney Castillo to first base.
So base hit for Castillo. 2 hits in the game now for Rusney. Aboard with 2 outs in the 6th inning, and Pedroia has already had a 3-hit night. A single in the first, a single in the third, a double in the 5th. And a grounder now towards the second baseman Sogard, who'll tag the bag to end the inning. Through 6, Boston on top 4-1. Hello.
Hello.
Head into the 7th inning, and Brett Lawrie leading it off here. Wade Miley back on the hill, and Lawrie fouls it off to the right out of play. Lawrie grounded out to second base in the 2nd, single to center in the 5th. Down low, and it is a ball and a strike. Well, we've heard of switch hitting. How about switch pitching? Pat Venditti can throw both right-handed and left-handed. Reminds you of Greg Harris years ago with the Red Sox, and certainly something very different. That glove, as it turns out, has a thumb for a left hand and a right hand. He uses the same glove.
Don, I just have a question from down here. Would you consider that double barrel action as well? I mean, where do you go with it? Where do you go with this one?
That's a good question. That is a very good. Yeah, I would say yes. There is a left-hander and a right-hander warming in the Oakland A's pen.
Yeah, I wonder if when he's out in the bullpen, have to keep an eye on him, see if he throws so many pitches right-handed and so many left.
This is jacked to left, and it is back, and it is gone into the monster seats. So Brett Lawrie with his 5th home run of the year. It's the A's a little closer. It's now 4-2 Boston. His 2nd hit of the night.
And all the ground balls that Miley has featured in the game tonight, this one is elevated by Brett Lawrie and elevated very hard into the monster seats. Lawrie accustomed to playing here at Fenway, former member of the Blue Jays.
Now fly ball to center at Betts. Makes the catch for the first out of the 7th inning. So Reddick 0 for 3 in the game. Brings up Josh Fegley, the catcher, who struck out and singled. Line down the left field line, foul. Riley working here with 1 out in the 7th inning. Up to 82 pitches deep into his outing. And a grounder foul, 0-2. Double barreled action indeed. Warming up from the left side and the right side.
Looks like he drops down a little bit more to the side as a left-handed pitcher than he does as a right-handed pitcher.
Appeared in spring training with the Oakland A's, had a very good spring, and now in the majors. Strike 3 call. There it is. Strikeout number 6 for Wade Miley. 2 down. Figley didn't think so. And still yelling back towards home plate. Clint Fagan, the home plate umpire.
Well, we talked earlier in the game about those pitches, down and in and off the plate being called strikes. Get the feeling somebody might get run here, or just.
Well, so far, Clint Fagan handling it well. He's hearing from enough people and still hearing from Bob Melvin. Kind of ignoring it all.
It's always good when umpires don't get rabbit ears. When they have those rabbit ears, they hear everything that goes on in the dugout, and they will run you in a second. Certain guys will take more than others.
And there are some guys who won't take anything at all.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
We won't name names. I think one of them is here tonight, actually. That's all I'll say.
And he will work the plate in this series.
Yes, he will.
No nonsense.
This is line down the left field line, and a foul ball. Bangs around down there by the garage door, but a foul ball.
There's Bob Davidson. We've seen him throw out a few guys over the course of seasons, and
Terry Francona was my favorite in Minnesota at the Metrodome. Where Tito said afterwards he thought he was going down because he thought he was having a heart attack while he was out there.
Tito was not good in arguments because like his whole body was ready to collapse.
Yeah, it wasn't good, and then he had all the chewing there and spitting. And it was awful. Well, Bob seems like a nice enough guy.
He's a really good guy. He's a really good guy, but don't mess with him, especially when he's got the plate.
So you'll see him Sunday behind the plate. To Canna coming up here with 2 down, bases empty. Miley taking a while. So unusual. Ground ball to short. Bogarts to his left. Double pump, but he gets it there in time. Leadoff home run by Brett Laurie. It's 4-2 Red Sox, 7th inning stretch. Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Back at Fenway Park as it is 4-2 Red Sox. Let's send it down to Gary.
Guys, well, here we are. Something we haven't seen in the Bigs since 1995. An ambidextrous pitcher, Pat Venditti, on the mound right now. Now, this is pretty much unprecedented, uncharted categories and territories for pretty much everybody here, except for the guy at the plate right now, talking to Brock Holt. He actually faced Venditti in Double-A when Brock was a member of the Pittsburgh Pirates organizations, and Venditti was with the Yankees. So we've seen him before, knows the history. Of course, once he goes lefty, he can't really switch that around, so he'll stay with that, and that's what he will be seeing. I was talking to some of the pitchers, asking him if a split-throwing pitcher is the most, I guess, impressive feat you can see in baseball, and actually a couple of them said it's actually number 2 behind Jim Abbott. You remember him, had a 10-year MLB career, wasn't born with a right hand, so really a left-handed pitcher. Every time he would release the ball, obviously shuffle the glove from underneath his armpit to the fielding hand. Pretty impressive stuff. But Venditti, number 2 on that list.
Of course, you were here, Jerry, broadcasting, I think, when Greg Harris was here.
Yes. Yeah, very unique what you're about to see right here.
Pitch outside, and it is 2-2 to Brock Holt, leading it off here in the 7th inning. Brock's got a couple of hits, a double and a single tonight. Hanley Ramirez, Mike Napoli expected here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Fouls it off himself painfully. Sunday at an all-new Nesson clubhouse, David Ortiz teaches his son D'Angelo how to hit to the opposite field. Brock Holt takes the hot seat in Red Sox Small Talk, and we reveal the secret behind the lights on the side of the Prudential Building. Catch it all Sunday at noon on Nesson Clubhouse, presented by Delta Dental of Massachusetts. Big Papi getting the night off tonight. The left-hander Scott Kazmir on the mound, and it's Hanley Ramirez doing the DHing tonight for Boston. Four runs, 10 hits, no errors for Boston. 2 runs, 6 hits, and 3 errors for the Oakland A's. Holt on the ground to first base. Mark Canha gobbles it up and tags the bag.
Well, now he'll switch around and pitch right-handed to Hanley Ramirez. He's already got the glove on the other hand.
And again, the 2 thumbs in that glove. So he doesn't have to switch gloves. He's got a multi-purpose glove.
Very similar to the one Greg Harris had.
One out here in the 7th, and Hanley Ramirez struck out in the first, sacrifice fly to pick up his 30th RBI in the 3rd, and then struck out in the 5th. Hanley hits one on the ground and through into left field. Able to split the third baseman at shortstop on the left side. A 1-out base hit for Ramirez.
Hanley gets that drop down slider and able to hook it between the hole at the third base and shortstop to pick up his first hit of the night. Excuse me, had a sacrifice fly back in the 3rd. There's the breaking ball away, but this time Hanley hooking it and pulling it.
There's Mike Napoli, who grounds one towards second base. Sogard is second for 1, on to first for 2. Double play wraps up the 7th. It's 4-2 Boston at the end of 7. Four to 2. Red Sox have the lead over the Oakland A's, and Wade Miley is back on the mound again. Here's pitch 91. Wade Miley's pitching line brought to you by Ace Ticket. 7+, 6 hits, 2 runs. He walked a batter and struck out 6. Eric Sogard gets hit on the hand. Sound like it hit the knob of the bat, though.
Yeah, I think it did. I think that's the motion that the umpire is making.
He's sending him to first. Well, disputing that as they're going to come out and check on him, the trainer and Bob Melvin.
What do you think, Don?
I thought it only got the knob. I could be wrong.
I agree with you.
We heard it from up here, that's for sure, but did it get part of his hand? John Farrell has come out there, and they are going to challenge this.
That's going to be a tough challenge because, you know, there's no question it got the knob of the bat, but did it get the finger first before the knob of the bat?
Will it be conclusive enough to overturn it? The other thing.
Just the sound of it sounded like the knob of the bat, but we're a long way from home plate. Actually, we're not that far from home plate. We're just kind of high. Take a listen. Wait a minute, am I seeing things?
They are putting him on first base. Did hit him as the Red Sox cannot overturn it.
Why was he shaking his other hand? Did you see that?
No, he was shaking. Which hand was he shaking? The one that wasn't on the bottom?
The one that was on the top. Watch the top hand. That's the one he's going to shake. Watch this.
Oh, yeah. How about that?
They got you.
That's the wrong hand, Eric. But it's not overturned. Hit by the pitch. So the tying run now at the plate here for the Oakland A's with nobody out in the 8th, and Billy Burns is the batter as he will take that outside. Red Sox have action in the pen. Junichi Tozawa warming now for Boston, with Miley pitching into the 8th inning and pitching very well in this game tonight. Started this inning with 90 pitches.
Well, that Red Sox outfield, Mookie Betts and Jose Castillo, very, very shallow. That's as shallow as I've ever seen Betts play against a hitter.
That's kind of the defense you see against another pitcher a lot of times in interleague play.
Yeah, the National League. That's correct, Don.
2-1 is popped up. Brock Holt will step into foul ground and put it away for out number 1 of the 8th inning. For a preview on what's ahead later tonight on NESN Sports Today, let's go to Jamison Coyle in Buffalo. Jamison?
Yeah, Don, coming up tonight on NESN Sports Today, we are in Buffalo for the NHL's Scouting Combine, where 120 players will be put to the test off the ice to see where they stack up amongst their peers. Plus, we're going to go one-on-one with Bruins general manager Don Sweeney and his big announcement today to keep head coach Claude Julien.
All right, Jamison, thanks very much. And departing here is Wade Miley, getting a great hand from the Fenway faithful as he goes. So Miley getting Burns to foul out. Responsible for Sogard, who is at first base. And making his way in from the pen is Junichi Tozawa. Let's send it down to Gary.
Guys, of course, this is game 1 of a 3-game set with the Athletics before the Red Sox jet off against the AL East foe Tuesday through Thursday. They get to enjoy a nice off day, though, in Baltimore on that Monday before returning home. Just a quick 3-game series to face Toronto. Then it's Atlanta on the home and home, and then nice barbecue at the end of the month in Kansas City. I know we're looking forward to that.
All right, Gary, thanks very much. 1 out here in the inning. Eric Sogard is at first base. And Junichi Tozawa coming into the game. He struck out a season-high 3 in the scoreless 7th inning yesterday against Minnesota, going an inning. And here appears in his 27th game of the year, 0-1 with a 1.50 earned run average, 24 strikeouts to 5 walks. And opponents hitting under 200 and 198 against Tazawa. And Wade Miley, very, very good tonight.
Yeah, terrific outing for Miley. We'll take a look at the last 4 strikeouts that he had in this ball game tonight. Breaking ball away right there to Josh Reddick. It's Sogard on a fastball that's on the outside part of the plate. Breaking ball back into Burns, down and in. And then the fastball right at the knees to Begley.
For every strikeout by a Red Sox pitcher at Fenway Park in June, Aetna will donate $250 to the Boston Healthcare for the Homeless Program. Through their continued efforts in the local community, Aetna is helping to build a healthier world, one city and one strikeout at a time. So Miley looks on, still responsible for Sogard at first base. Marcus Semien coming up here for the A's. It looks like another pinch hitter. Stephen Vogt is going to pinch hit for Semien. Vogt, who had been off until now, pinch hitting. Vogt at .308 with 11 home runs and 39 runs batted in. He's had a terrific season so far for the A's. Waves at that first pitch for strike one.
And gets the split-fingered fastball from Tazawa on the first pitch.
Inside 1-1 action for the Athletics. Evan Scribner is up in the pen for Oakland. Give me an idea how good a year Stephen Vogt is having. He's appeared in 52 games and already has career highs in home runs, RBIs, and walks. 11 home runs, 39 RBIs, and 29 walks on the year. And a swing and a miss. Splitter there from Tazawa.
Yeah, both strikes for Tazawa have come on the split-fingered fastball. That one bouncing in the dirt.
Throw to first, and diving back headfirst is Sogard.
Sogard with 2 steals on the season has not been caught.
Glances off the glove of Blake Swihart. All 2-2-2. Since the start of the 2013 season, Tazawa has made 169 relief appearances. It's the 4th most in the American League during that time. Swinging a foul tip for strike 3. Held onto by Swihart. And the pinch hitter, Stephen Vogt, strikes out.
That's good pitching by Tazawa. You know, a couple of splitters early in the count that were down and in, and then he goes away with the fastball to the outside part of the plate and up to pick up the strikeout. Keeping the fastball away from the power of Vogt.
So 2 down, Sogard at first base as Ben Zobrist swings at the first pitch, pops it up, foul ground. Holt going as far as he can, but he won't have a play. Are you looking for ways to entertain employees or clients? Take them out for a night at Fenway Park to watch their beloved Red Sox. Visit redsox.com/groups for more information. Two down with Sogard at first base. And Ben Zobrist down 0-1. Strike call right on that outside corner. Ben Zobrist, big part of the Tampa Bay Rays for a number of years. Very versatile, former All-Star.
Wants to go to the split with 2 strikes.
Taken off is the runner at first base, and Sogard, look out here. Holt steps in front and throws out the runner. And Bogart's almost colliding on the left side of the infield. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning. It's 4-2 Boston. Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Your local Subaru dealers. And by Digital Federal Credit Union. See what DCU can save you. 4-2. Red Sox have the lead over the Oakland A's as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. And a first pitch strike in there to Xander Bogaerts. Andy Perino has taken over at shortstop after they pinch hit for Simeon with Stephen Vogt. That was a wild breaking ball away, chased there by Bogaerts, and it's 0-2. Pat Venditti back on the mound here for the Athletics. Xander has been on twice in this game after flying out to right in the first. He doubled in the 4th, walked in the 5th. Another breaking ball. This one fouled off down the right field line.
That's interesting. His delivery from the left side and the right side, very, very similar. Throws the big sweeping breaking ball right-handed, big sweeping breaking ball left-handed. Drops down to the side again with that breaking ball, and a nice job by Bogaerts to foul it off.
Koji Uehara warming in the Red Sox pen, looking ahead to the Athletics' 9th. Billy Butler, Brett Lawrie, Josh Reddick, all with power.
There you see the comparison, right-handed, left-handed. Similar pitches.
Fouled off to the right, out of play. Mookie Betts waiting on deck, then Blake Swihart anticipated here in the 8th. Venditti had stepped off. Now back on again.
Try to stake a fastball inside. Well, they wanted to go inside. Everything had been away from Bogaerts. You can see by the pitch zone. They wanted to go inside with the fastball, see if they could freeze Bogaerts, but he fouls that off. This is driving me crazy. This is left-handed, right-handed.
Calm down.
I'm trying to, Dan. Trying.
Wait until we see a switch hitter come up for the Red Sox. Then things are really going to get crazy. Here's a ground ball to shortstop as Perino just into the game slings it to first base for the first out of the bottom of the 8th inning. Tonight's game summary is brought to you by Xfinity. Scott Kazmir on the hook right now for the Oakland A's. 4 2/3, 3 earned runs of the 4 that he allowed. Brett Laurie with a home run, his 5th of the year. Wade Miley, very good. 7 1/3, 2 earned runs. Pedroia's had a big night, 3 hits. And Brock Holt 2 for 4, getting the start at third base. Red Sox on top right now, 4-2 with 1 out in the 8th. And Mookie Betts, the batter. Betts lined out to center field in the 2nd, singled in the 4th before striking out swinging in the 5th. Breaking ball in there for a strike. To right field. Josh Reddick waiting. Puts it away for out number 2 of the 8th inning. Want to be part of a live studio audience of Dining Playbook? You can on June 10th at Tuscan Kitchen in Burlington. Billy Costa and Jenny Johnson and Chief Food Taster Joe Farrow will be there filming an episode. Visit NESN.com/Tuscan for tickets.
This is interesting. You can see the pitcher right now. He wants to switch. He switched his glove to the opposite hand. He wanted to throw left-handed to Swihart, but now he's changed his mind. Now he wants to throw right-handed to Swihart.
He has to indicate before, correct?
Yeah, and he never did make a motion, so I think he's okay with this. He's going to throw right-handed to Swihart. He's going to make Swihart hit left-handed, which is smart in this ballpark because, you know, as a right-handed hitter, you can take the ball over the green monster. I don't know if we have a shot of that, but that was pretty interesting to see the pitcher that we don't normally see do that. Indicate to the umpire that, no, I'm going to switch and I'm going to go back and I want to face him with the right hand. There he is. He's coming to the mound. He backs off and he's going to tell the umpire right now, I'm switching. I'm going to throw right-handed to him. So now Swihart's going to go back and get his left-handed hitting helmet on.
Don't see this every day.
No. I don't think the umpire knew exactly what was going on at first either. Swihart knew right away.
Swing and a miss for Swihart, and it evens at 2-2. Breaking ball, and he strikes out Swihart. Pretty impressive is Venditti from either side. We head to the 9th. It's Koji time. Pitchers would be Jesse Chavez versus Joe Kelly. Sunday in Texas, Kelly took a no decision, going 5 innings, allowing 6 hits and an earned run. This closer look is brought to you by FW Web. Selection, expertise, solutions. More at fwweb.com. And it is time now for tonight's T-Mobile game changer performance, and a good night tonight for the leadoff hitter for the Red Sox, Dustin Pedroia. 3-hit night.
Base hit up the middle for Pedroia. Base hit pulling the ball for Pedroia. Then a double back in the 5th inning as he finds that gap after the dive by Josh Reddick. So 2 guys at the top of the lineup tonight. Pedroia, Holt, very effective for the Red Sox.
Koji Uehara trying to bounce back after one of the toughest outings we've ever seen him have, suffering his 3rd loss of the season yesterday. Falls to 2-3 with a 2.65 earned run average. Was not a safe situation. He allowed a season high 3 hits, 4 runs, 2 were earned as he jumps ahead here 0-2 of Billy Butler. Over his last 3 games in an inning and 2/3, he's been charged with 6 runs. Butler strikes out. So much for that as Uehara strikes out Butler for the first out of the 9th. Time now for the Toyota play of the game. And a single in the 5th inning that scores Dustin Pedroia. One out here is Brett Lawrie, who had a couple of hits off Wade Miley. One was a home run back in the 7th inning, his 5th home run of the year. Junichi Tazawa pitched the 8th, getting the final 2 outs, so 2/3 of an inning with a strikeout. Uehara is ahead 0-2. Just missed a ball and 2 strikes.
3 straight fastballs from Uehara to Brett Lawrie.
Josh Reddick waiting on deck. On the ground down the 3rd baseline, it is Holt who's not going to throw. Beating it out is Brett Lawrie, his 3rd hit of the game. And the Athletics will bring the tying run to the plate here in the 9th. Alltown, New England's premier convenience retailer, is committed to supporting the communities they serve. For every home run the Red Sox hit the rest of the season, Alltown will donate $500 to the Cystic Fibrosis Multiple Sclerosis Fund. Visit alltown.com for a location near you. 1 out, 1 on. Josh Reddick, the batter. 0-for-3. He's grounded out to second, struck out, flied out to center. Center fielder Mookie Betts well into right center. Lots of green grass out there in left center, wide open. Reddick badly fooled, 1-1. The concerns, great service, great coverage, and a great price for auto, home, or life insurance.
And that last splitter a little bit high for Uehara, right down the middle of the plate, not exactly where he wants that pitch.
Reddick 0-for-6 in his career against Uehara. High for ball 3, 3-1. On deck is Josh Fegley, the catcher. Tying run at the plate right now for the Athletics. Uehara behind him, 3-1. Popped up, foul ground. Holt headed over towards the dugout. Will make the catch, 2 down in the 9th.
Now that's the advantage right there that Uehara has. You know, it's a 3-1 count. And in most situations, especially at this stage of the game, you'll see a fastball. Not with Koji. He goes to the split-fingered fastball right here, as you can see. Keeps it away from Reddick, who's thinking about one thing. Reddick's thinking about a 2-run home run to tie this ball game up. Trying to pull that pitch and just flies out to Brock Holt in foul territory.
2 down in the 9th inning. Josh Phegley, the batter. Foul straight back. Got the fastball and fouls it back. Phegley struck out, single to right, struck out again. Strike 2. Fenway stands as 1. 0-2 the count, 2 down in the 9th. In the air to left field, struck well, and that ball is going to be high off the wall. Piazza plays the carom into second with a double, goes Phegley, and this game was that close to being tied.
Wow. You got to give credit right there to Phegley, because he hit a pretty good splitter that was down in the zone and almost one-hands it out of the ballpark right to the top of the green monster. Oh, was that ever so close to being a tie ball game?
Carl Willis, the pitching coach, is going to make a visit to the mound. Next batter will be Mark Canha, batting with 2 outs and the tying run in scoring position now at second base. Of course, Koji had the blown save. He had converted 7 straight save chances before blowing the save last Sunday in Texas. The Josh Hamilton walk-off hit ended up landing Hamilton on the DL with a hamstring problem.
Loosen up that right shoulder. Make sure you get the right pitches.
Second and third, 2 down. Mark Canha 1 for 3 with an RBI single in this game. And Canha takes strike 1. Laurie at third, Phegley at second. An 0-1 pitch. Canha is down 0-2.
That might be the best splitter that Uehara has thrown today. He keeps it to the outside part of the plate, staying away from Canha.
In the air to left center field. In comes Diaz to make the catch, and the Red Sox win. A flare to left. Diaz was deep, and he races in to make the catch. The Oakland A's have the tying run at second base, but Koji Uehara collects the save as the Red Sox win it 4-2. Makes a winner of Wade Miley tonight, as Miley now back to 500 individually at 5-5. And the Red Sox, with a much-needed win here tonight, take game 1 of the series against the Oakland A's. And Tom Caron, it was fun here tonight for the Red Sox. They win it 4-2.